Arnold Peterson presents The True Adventures of Junior G-Men.
The Junior G-Men are on the air, speeding to your homes, ready for action!
Stand by. All Junior G-Men stand by. Stand by for thrilling details of the Phantom from prison. Calling all Junior G-Men. Stand by for report of Junior G-Man Dick Powers concerning
the Phantom from prison.
Conclusion of report number 981 as given by Operator Dick Powers of Ridley.
Well, I suppose you remember that Judge Barker sentenced a murderer by the name of Martin to the electric chair. And the night he was to go to the chair, Dad and I went over to see the judge, as Dad figured that he'd be quite upset. We'd been there a couple of hours when the phone rang. The judge answered it. A voice said, "I'm on my way." Now, Judge Barker was almost positive that the voice was Martin's, and he called the prison immediately to find out when he had escaped. He was told that Martin hadn't escaped, but had died in the electric chair just 2 minutes before. The judge hung up, and then suddenly a face appeared in the window, Martin's face, and the judge firmly believed that he'd kept his promise to come back and get him. Of course, Dad tried to point out that it couldn't have been a ghost, but an enemy of the judge. Now, there were 4 possible suspects. A mysterious friend of Martin's who'd come to the judge and threatened him, a Mr. Whitney who'd run for judge in opposition to Judge Barker and lost the election, Mr. Peters, the crooked ex-district attorney who'd been removed from office by the judge, and a Mr. Mitchell who'd been sued by a man who'd hit with his car, and because of Judge Barker's decision had been forced to pay almost $10,000 in damages. Now, a couple of nights after the face had appeared at the window, Dad and I went around to see the judge again. His housekeeper let us in and told us that the judge was in the study. She took us down the hall, and when he found the door was locked, Dad said,
"I'm going to break the lock. Here goes. 1, 2, 3. Now,
"Holy cats, Dad, look! There, lying beneath the open window. The judge!"
good heavens, you're right. Come on, come on.
Gosh, Dad, look, his head's bleeding.
Yes, I see. Thank goodness he's alive. Mrs. Graham.
Yes?
Get some warm water and bandages, please.
Yes, Mr. Powers. I'll be right back.
That's it. Now, come on, Dick. Help me rub his wrists.
Okay, Dad. There, how's that?
Fine. Now, keep it up. I wonder what happened to him. I wonder if he...
Look, Dad. He's beginning to open his eyes.
Oh, Martin, Wait, Martin, don't...
Easy, Judge.
It's you, Powers. Oh, thank heavens you're here. Martin came back to keep his promise, Powers. He came back to get me.
And after his head had been bathed and bandaged, Judge Barker felt a whole lot better. The color began to come back to his cheeks. It was then that he...
Well, it's a cinch you look a lot better than you did when we found you, John.
I feel a lot better, too.
Now, do you feel well enough to tell us what happened to you?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Well, I came in here to my study, and because it had been shut up all day, I found it rather stuffy. That's why I opened the window. I'd no sooner finished raising it up than the telephone rang. Naturally, I answered it, and the same voice that spoke to me the other night, Martin's voice, spoke again.
Gee whiz. What did he say this time, Judge?
The same thing that he said the last time. It was simply, I'm on my way.
That's all? Just that?
Just that, and then he hung up.
I see. What'd you do then?
Nothing. I just sat there. I didn't know what to do. I thought of calling you, Powers, and asking you to come over, but before I had the chance, I heard someone softly laughing. I turned toward the window, and then I saw him.
Martin?
Yes, Martin. I jumped up, ran to the window. I reached out and tried to grab him, and then something hit me on the back of the head, and, well, that's all I remember.
Gosh. And you're sure it was Martin?
Yes, I'm positive.
Yeah, but it couldn't have been Martin. He's dead, and... Well, it just couldn't have been Martin, that's all.
Well, I know, Powers. I know it couldn't have been Martin, and yet it was. I saw him just as plainly as I see you now. That purplish scar along the side of his nose, that small black mustache over the thin lip. It was always curved in a sneer. No, but what's the use? It was Martin. I'm sure of it. And he'll keep his promise, too. He'll get me.
Not if we can help it.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing you can do.
Say, Judge, how long did you sit there at the desk between the time you got the telephone call and the time Martin appeared at the window?
About 2 minutes.
2 minutes, eh?
Yes, why?
Well, let's suppose for a minute that Dad is right, that it wasn't Martin at all, but someone who's made up to look like him.
Yes, go on.
Now, if the man who makes the call is the same man who appears at the window, he must make that call from someplace right nearby, since there's only 2 minutes difference in between the call and the appearance.
Say, that's right. I never thought of that, Dick.
But wait, Dad. The best part is yet to come. I know where that ball comes from.
You know where the call comes from?
That's right, Dad.
Where?
From the apartment house next door. There aren't any stores or private homes within 2 minutes walking distance, or even running distance. The call has to come from the apartment house next door, or else the man who appears at the window couldn't possibly arrive in such a short time.
Why, that's right, he couldn't.
And there's a reason for the call, too.
Well, what do you mean, Dick?
Well, whoever makes it wants to be sure that the judge is in the study at a certain time, so that he'll be sure to see the face when it appears at the window.
Why, of course.
Now, how do you know any of the tenants of the apartment house, Judge Parker?
Well, I do know a few, but they're all very friendly.
I see. Well, it's just possible that there's someone living there you don't know, and that someone is an enemy of yours.
Why, yes, it's of course.
You know, Judge Barker, if I were you, I'd get in touch with the police. After all, it ought to be a fairly simple matter to check on the tenants of that apartment house, and one of them has to be the man you're after.
Well, I believe you're right, Dick. I believe you're right. And I'm going to do just as you suggest. I'm going to go to the police and tell them the whole...
And that's exactly what Judge Barker did. He went to the police and told his story to a couple of detectives. After he'd finished, they took a picture of Martin with them and went around to the apartment house. When they got there, Judge Barker and the detectives checked over the list of tenants with Mr. Kohler, the superintendent. They went over the list and then...
Well, Judge, what do you say? You know of these people whose names are on this list?
No, I don't. You see, although I know a few of the tenants by sight, I don't know their names.
I see. Now, Kohler.
Yeah.
Take a look at this picture.
Yeah.
Does anyone in this building look anything like that?
Yeah, it's the picture of Martin. Yeah, that's the second one I've seen today.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, there was a leak in one of the water pipes that lead into Mr. Duran's apartment. And I had to go inside to fix it. And while I was there, I noticed this picture of Martin on the dresser. It's a funny thing, too. It was mounted on the cardboard.
Oh, so the picture was mounted on cardboard, eh?
Yeah.
That's very funny. Very funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It seemed to me that...
Well, by the way, what do you know about this fellow Duran?
Oh, nothing much, you see. He's only lived here a week. I've only seen him a couple of times. He doesn't come in and go out like the other tenants. Or sometimes I think he doesn't even sleep here.
Oh, I see. Did you happen to see him tonight?
Yeah, I did. He came in shortly after 9 o'clock.
Uh-huh. Well, do you know if he's still around?
Well, that I can't say, sir. You see, he went out again a little after 10, and I haven't seen him come back.
What does he look like?
Well, he wears dark glasses and has a little beard. And, well, outside of that, there isn't much I can tell you. You see, sir, I haven't seen much of him.
Of course. Well, Judge Barker, it looks like we found something.
Well, I hope you're right.
You have a pass key to all the apartments, haven't you, Kohler?
Yeah, I have the pass.
Good. You see, we're going to have a look at Mr. Duran's apartment.
Yeah. Well, if you'll just follow me, I'll lead you right down to Mr. Duran.
And once Judge Barker and the detectives got into Mr. Duran's apartment, they found plenty. In the first place, it was on the ground floor, and you could see right across the alley into Judge Barker's study. They searched the whole apartment and found a complete makeup kit, filled with the kind of stuff actors use on their faces. They found some clothes, too. Clothes that the judge recognized as those worn by a man who appeared at his window. Everything fitted together like a jigsaw puzzle. The only thing that remained a mystery was Mr. Duran's real identity. Detectives were stationed in a vacant apartment right across the hall from Mr. Duran's. The following night, Mr. Kohler, the superintendent, rushed in around 9 o'clock. He was all excited.
He's coming. He's coming.
Duran?
Yeah, I just saw him walking down the street.
Good. Now look, Kohler, you run over to the judge's place and get him over here as soon as you can.
Yeah, I do that.
And hurry, do you hear?
Yeah, I hurry. I beat my boy.
Well, Louis, it looks like we're going to action.
That's right, sir.
Better open that door a bit so that we'll be able to hear him come down the hall.
Yes, sir.
Hold it. That's far enough. Now, just get set and listen. Someone's coming. Hold everything. It's Duran, all right. Come on, let's get him. Right. All right, Duran, put him up.
Hey, look here, you can't
Put him up, or I'll...
All right, I'll put him up.
Look out, he's got a gun!
Nice work, Lewis. You just grabbed his arm in time. Now grab hold of that beard of his and see if it really belongs to him.
Okay, Chief. That'll be a pleasure. Come on, you. Let me get hold of that beard.
Let go of me. Let go of me. No! Oh. Well. So it does come off. Take those glasses off, too, Lewis.
Okay, Chief. There you are.
Well, Doran, without that beard and those glasses, you look a lot different. In fact, you look a little like a guy by the name of... but here comes Judge Barker. Let's see if he recognizes you.
So you got him, did you?
Yep, we've got him all right. Here he is.
Why, Mitchell.
Yes, Mitchell.
Why did you do it, Mitchell? Why?
Because I hated you, that's why. Because I've always hated you ever since you handed down that decision against me. It was that guy's own fault that I hit with my car. But you had to award him almost $10,000.
You were drunk when you hit him, Mitchell.
You're a liar, and I ought to
Take it easy, Mitchell. Take it easy. You're all through.
Yes, I'm all through. Well, come on. What are we waiting for? Let's get going.
And Mitchell confessed that he intended to kill Judge Barker. He also explained that he'd go to the apartment and, using the picture as a guide, would make himself up to look like Martin. Then he'd call Judge Barker on the phone, and after telling him that he was on his way, would climb out the window, run across the alley, and stand by the study window. It was quite a trick, all right, but like all crooked tricks, it didn't work very long. Mitchell was tried and convicted on a charge of attempted murder and has already begun to serve a good long sentence. Good night, fellas, and lots of good luck.
Stand by. All Junior G-men, stand by. Stand by for thrilling details concerning the next broadcast. Calling all Junior G-men to proceed at once to points of duty. Calling Junior G-man Joe Hagan to report to Director Donald Peterson at the next meeting on this station to give report concerning...
The counterfeit $20 bill.